Yeah, if you don't have the money, you cannot progress. Unfortunately, here the government should be a helping hand, because with its own resources the GFA cannot do anything, because football is not on the same level as cricket is in India, where the cricket council or board has crores and lakhs of rupees to disburse. The AIFF doesn't have that sort of.
Yeah, but then here you need to raise funds on your own. Look,
is it possible?
We raised a lot of money. We brought in a lot of sponsors. We had many tournament sponsors. Our fixed deposits were raised to about 1 crore during our time, and now it's just the opposite. It's going down, down, and down. I think I understand that.
So what does the GFA need to do now?
See, we started that process of professionals taking over. Like, we removed the post of elected secretary, and we brought in the post of
the constitution.
Yes, and we created a post of executive secretary. Now, here I think there's a conflict between the members and the policy. The idea here is that the members should be the thinkers and decide on programs and policies, and it should be implemented by the professionals, which is not happening here. You know, now we created a post of an executive secretary. So okay, bring an MBA, bring somebody who can take the association to another level.
Right.
Look, I also never, I cannot claim that I knew a lot of football, and if I got any success during my tenure, it is because I brought in professionals. It's those Portuguese professionals who taught us the way and showed us the right path of development.
Is it a fact that the association of any sport need to be working at a very high level to have that particular sport doing well in the state?
Definitely, it is the association who plays a big role. Look, we used to break our heads on trying to get the clubs to a discussion table and get the clubs to get a youth program, take forward a youth program. We used to have regular meetings with the clubs and work closely with the clubs, like the main clubs, the I-League clubs.
Do you think the GFA now is in that sort of relationship with the clubs and the AIFF?
I think even we during my time also we had a problem with the All India Football Federation. It's not always that they all think alike. That happens, but then you should keep that aside and see how best you can develop the game in the state. Today, thanks to the former Chief Minister who introduced football as the official sport and introduced a JFDC, we should have taken it forward. Here, about 5-6 crores are being pumped into football, in the development of football. And 6-7 years ago, we never got even 5 lakhs from the government.
Absolutely. Both of you are in the council at Goa Football Development Council. It will be interesting to note from you, what has been the impact of GFDC? It's been now almost 3 years that it has been running and developing the youth footballers from 10 to 14 years age group. What's been the impact?
I think our priorities are a bit confused. Personally, the GFDC, I think the GFDC's role would be to mass produce players, not necessarily good players, mass produce players. I emphasize the word players, people who know how to kick the ball, who trap the ball. Eventually, maybe 1 in 100 will play in a league match.
Yeah,
that's the law of the jungle for you, survival of the fittest. Yeah. So, but the remaining 99 will become good football spectators, maybe good coaches, maybe good sports medicines, because they have already have been blooded in football. They have a background of football. So it's an overview. The program should have been an overview. It is not the GFDC's role to prepare Goa for the Under-17 World Cup. No, I disagree. Absolutely. This is not our role.
okay.
We are not going to select good players at the age of 10 and 12 and expect them to be fit in 1917 to be playing for India. We are getting ourselves confused and tied up in knots. We need to develop football in the areas of Goa which have so far not had much exposure to football. Basically, the coastal belts of Goa have been having a lot of football. And the 4 talukas of Murmugaon, Ilyas, Bardez and Salsett. There are 11 or 12 talukas now.
12.
12 I think. Yeah, since
Darbandura.
Darbandura. Okay, so we need to go to those areas.
I think there are now total 31 centers of GFDC and close to 100 coaches and around 3,000 trainees.
Now we
So
come back to the monitoring aspect.
Yes.
is that statistic good enough, satisfactory for you all in today's time?
Look,
In 3 years, 3,000 trainees are playing. That's
there
what
are-
the GFDC claims.
there are, I would not say there are 3,000 trainees.
Okay.
There are much lesser than
I
that
see.
because I've been going through the reports, it's fluctuating.
Mhm.
You know, we start a center with about 100 kids and then it goes down to 50. Sometimes.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
That happens with everywhere.
With kids,
But
it
then we need to, you know, replenish, get more kids. And
more.
we need to have, as I said, very, very important that we have a proper monitoring system. Now here, if the monitoring system fails, then the whole system, the whole program is going to collapse.
Absolutely.
Secondly, the involvement of the parents is very important, especially at the age of 10 and 12. We want them to come to see their kids practice, play. But if we are going to be a government organization and go to sleep on Saturday and Sunday, which are the 2 days when the kids are free and the parents are free, then it's not going to work.
Right. Now coming to what has recently happened in GFDC, we had South African technical director Katz Naidu as the technical director, obviously, of the GFDC for the last 1 year. And firstly, let me get your views on how good was Katz Naidu and how effective were his methods in the 1 year that he was in that position at GFDC.
Katz Naidu was one of those rare few people I've seen who know football, understand how to conduct youth programs, and who gave his whole to the program. I salute him for whatever he did so far in Goa, and I'm sad that his contract was not renewed.
Right. Savio?
Well, I also have a lot of respect for him. Initially, I was not very much in favor of getting a South African, and I was proposing that we get the Portuguese because they are much more knowledgeable about football and more educated and more experienced rather than a South African. But then finally I was convinced that he was excellent in his work, very hardworking, very passionate, very dedicated, and it is really unfortunate that he had to go. And I remember both of us when he was hired, we both insisted that 1 year is just not enough. We should have him for a longer period, a 2 year or 3 year, because in 1 year 6 months goes so fast to understand learn the kids, learn the coaches, learn the
Culture
system, the
of
culture
the
and all that. And then when you start, then you need to start implementing and creating your programs. 1 year is nothing, and he should have been given another couple of more years, and I think you would have seen
In fact, at
results.
the last meeting I proposed that henceforth, whenever we engage a guy on a 3-year contract, we keep an option to terminate after 1 year. That's a different issue.
Yes.
But here we had only 1 year and an option to renew, which was not exercised.
It was such a surprise that his contract was not renewed.
Renewed, absolutely.
So how would you describe this? Is it a setback? Is it a blunder by GFDC? Since GFDC is a government body and utilizes public money, they have to be accountable to what policies they implement so that the football, flourishes in the state again. So how would you
It's a bit of a
this
difficult question to answer.
situation?
Our greatest fear, both of us, because quite often we think alike, our greatest fear was we did not want GFDC to become like another body like SAG. SAG earlier was conceived with a certain goal, but then it became a body which was, just filling up, getting people employment, giving people employment opportunities, getting into giving doles to clubs.
Right, I
and
understand.
things
The body
like that.
has to be completely focused on the sport and take
Yes.
decisions that really aid in the development
Yeah.
of the sport.
I
So-
think it was a body, the SAG was created more to create infrastructure, but then it went on doing so many other things.
Do you have any solutions that could bring us on the right track again.
At one time, we tried our best to get the various departments together, GFA, the SAG, the DSYA together, but it really
many
didn't.
egos.
It didn't work. But I
Does
think
not
it,
work.
and the clubs also, and I think we need to work. We need to sit down, bury all our differences, and if we want to put Goa back on the map and get Goa back to the #1 position which it held for many years, I think we need to sit across the table and sort out these problems and look forward, because I don't see a great future for Goa. Today, out of 150 players in the 4 academies in the AIFF, there are just 4 Goans. 4 Goans. So, and in
That's
the
a
under
shame.
15, under 17, under
When
19.
we refer to Goans, it's like the hotbed of football in India, and football crazy Goans, and that statistics is
So
really shameful.
We
for
have
us.
to change this trend, and we need to sit down, brainstorm, and come out with some solutions.
I think it needs to be done sooner rather than later, because the under 17 World Cup will be coming in a couple
At
of years'
least
time, and
I've always said, in my lifetime, I'm not going to see India play in the World Cup. But I think now at least I'm going to see them
hosting
in
under
the
17.
under 17. By virtue of hosting, it gets the right to play. Otherwise, if it was on a qualification basis, no way.
Look, 2 years ago, soon after the Lusophonia games was over, I suggested to the government, bring in the coach, the same coach, give him 25 boys and let them train for 1 or 2 years, and I can ensure you that half the Indian team will be from Goa. Mr. Parikar agreed to the idea, but it was not taken forward by the GFA.
Somewhere there's no proper meeting point to the ideas, and too many agencies, too many bodies have their own ideas. That's what
It's very
all the issue
frustrating.
is all about,
Yeah.
and
It's very
there's-
frustrating.
There's a lot of frustration for everybody involved in
So
football.
you reach a stage where you say, why the hell am I wasting my time?
Thank you very
Thank you
much
for having
for
us.
coming to our studio and sharing your ideas and concerns regarding Goan football. And we wish that all the stakeholders will seriously do the introspection and find the solution that we all want, so that Goan football will be on the right track again, and we all will be really deservingly called football crazy Goans once again when we throng to the stadium to watch even the I League. I know we have been doing it at the ISL, and people also are eager to repeat at the ISL season 2, which will be starting very soon. With this hope, we come to the end of this program. Thanks for watching. Keep watching Prudent. Goodbye.